Here in the pond, we have been notorious for the Disney villains and trying to figure out who's the worst of the worst. But we do reviews on movies, TV shows, and books. We do reviews from 1 out of 7. Why? It's because it has an odd number. There are 3 important numbers. A 1, which is a piece of crap, and 4. Why is a 4 a special number? Because it's in the middle. But then it's obvious. The 7. And 7s, when something is given a 7, it's called a potential. We wait an entire year to see the potential becomes true. Why wait so long? It's because what happens? After you watch a movie, you go, wasn't that amazing? But after you let it soak in and after it's been a while, you go, it's not as cool as I thought. Well, guess what? It's been a year since we've read each and every book of the Michael J. Sullivan's Legends of the First Empire. And we gave it a potential. And let's see if it gets it. Hello, and welcome to this part of the pond, where it's the Bullfrog and the one, the only, Newt.
Base reveal at 100,000 subscribers.
Normally, I would add a joke about his face or why we need the subscribers, and we do need the subscribers. But this video is a big one for us. Very important for many different levels. This is the year anniversary of the Newt. Before him, it was just me and a phone with no computer, no clips or images or anything. It was just muah. And there's a reason why you can tell my classics playlist is crappy. Those of you who watch that, I applaud you. But everything is better because of the Newt. This is his year anniversary. This is actually really the beginning of the pond. And he began with the last book of Michael J. Sullivan's Age of the First Empire with Age of Empire. We're just going to give you a light overview, less detailed, because again, no spoilage, but this is just the barest of bones with least amount of meat, so that way I want you to read these books. 7 or not, you want to read these books. Help me help you. And these books are very unique. They're high fantasy, which means elves, humans, dwarves, check. And it's based kind of like in the Stone Age. Stone Bronze Age, if you will. So that puts this in a unique perspective. Humans lack a technology. The elves' superiority. I mean, humanity believes elves are gods. We've never seen them age or die. That is until one man kills an elf. What does that entail? Everything. To the extinction of an entire tribe of men. To a realization, we're going to be extinct unless we don't stand up for ourselves. Mankind needs to gird up their loins and, by George, bring the fight. But one of the main leads says, yeah, I'm the god killer. Yeah, I've killed some elves, but guess what? We don't have a chance. Sorry. So what does one character say? Okay. I'm going to go on a big epic adventure with a host of friends, and we are going to find the way and means to fight the elves. Tally-ho! And that is Age of Swords, book 2. That book is too personal because of Roan. And this is the first of many pins that is going to collect to Roan. Just put a pin here on how personal that is, but cut that part out. To that part. And then to book 3, where things are getting hot, heated up, and steamed. And looks like war is official. What does this entail? What's going to happen? What does this mean? And wow. But also, we have to get a little... I'm not trying to spoil, but there's something awesome he does here. There's this image we have of fantasy. And we just go, a cliche, but it's a good one. And what does Sullivan do? Yeah, it's a cliche. It's a famous image we all know and love. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this my own. Yes, it's a cliche moment. Yes, it's going to be obvious. But you know what? I'm doing it. And I'm going to make sure you're going to cheer like no tomorrow. And people with headphones, please take them off or turn the volume way down low. Because by George Sullivan, yes! Yes! Never before in a book have I hit rewind or reread the page just to get that moment again. Yes! Oh my gosh, I loved it. It's not something to look forward to, it's just how he just makes it his own. Yes, it's an image that we all know. Yes, it's a bowl of fruit. Everyone paints a bowl of fruit. We all know everyone paints a bowl of fruit. Then Sullivan went, yes, it's a bowl of fruit. And you know what I'm doing? I'm painting it in a weird way that makes it 100% me. Yes, it's a cliche. Yes, it's an image. But by George, I made it my own way. When I first read each book as an individual and gave each one its review, again, all of them, but the last one is before Newt, so they're cringeworthy. Sorry. But I said that in book 4, it was kind of jarring with that time change, and I still stand by that. But on the reread, it's not as bad. There's only 2 books where Michael J. Sullivan gives you a cliffhanger. And by George, does he give you a cliffhanger. I have to wait. Thank goodness the book series is done. The cliffhanger won't be as hard, but it doesn't mean it's gonna hurt. Hope your arms can handle it. And then, the way how I think of a cliffhanger is actually a cliff with you hanging on it.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
But it's how the recovery of the cliffhanger happens. There's 2 forms. There's someone pulling you up, and then there's the fall. The pulling you ups, it's like, okay, it's a cliffhanger, and then you just go, all right, now it's back to the story. I go, I don't like those. I like the fall. And Sullivan lets you fall. Well, the fall with this first cliffhanger, it's more like a halfway mark. You're gonna fall, but then I grab you. Okay. And I'm just gonna ease you down. Yes, it's an aided fall. He holds your hand, and he holds your hand the right way. And it is good. It's a good landing where you go, yeah, you held my hand, but by George, that was good. I love the result. That was a tearjerker. Wow, that was pretty powerful. That was a good one. You may have helped me down, but it still had its power. Sullivan. Wow, good. To Age of Death. And this one, its cliffhanger, Sullivan. You know what I mean? You put me on a cliff again. You had me hanging. Ah! But this cliffhanger, I'm more at my fingers. I'm trying to hold on to Age of the Empire. And that fall is where Sullivan didn't give you a hand and gently let you down. No, he got his foot, stomped on your fingers, and you land face first, and you applaud Sullivan for doing it. That is probably the best fall ever. You hanging on the cliff is more relaxing than you landing the cliffhanger. Because you're just, oh my gosh, you, Sullivan, you made it worse. What did you do to me? I need to drink water. It's jarring. It's horrible. And I love every square inch of it. Sullivan, I know you don't like to write cliffhangers. And I know you're already finished writing your book series. And the newest book is going to come out this year, September. I'm on pins and needles. Why don't you write more cliffhangers, please? I know these books are done, but if you ever do more books, please leave a cliffhanger. You are good at it. You talk about a hidden art, doing a cliffhanger right, where you can do it both different ways, from holding you gently down to letting you drop and face flat. That is amazing. And this is the series, people. This is just the light overview. And this is to where, all right, let's get to the number. Is this a 7? Well, a 7 has to fill 3 categories. Rereadable, a form of magic, I'll get into that and describe it, and also deep diveable. This is what I consider a 7. 6s, I think, are just the real. 6s are amazing. 6s are really a good number, but the 7 is the highest number for a reason. The difference between a 6 and a 7 and a 7 and a 6 is that 7s have a certain level that just raises the bar. So, Sullivan, are you rereadable? Oh my goodness, you are. When you read this whole series and when you're done and you reread it, guess what happens? Entire conversations change. This character is talking to this character. Okay. When you reread it, you go, by George, this changes everything. This means that, so he's really talking about this, and that means this conversation here is this, and this is this. Whoa! Whoa! That is good. Sullivan knows how to write a book so it's rereadable. And this book series is part of Elan. What is Elan? Elan isn't a universe, it's a world. It's this world. But Elan is kind of like Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere, where one book series, another book series, and there's another book series. You could read these as individual and separate and not read the others, and you'll be fine. You'll be safe. However, if you read these book series together, you see a hidden story. More than that, you find out something more. And Sullivan and Sanderson do this, but yet they're so different from each other. Newt, sometime this year, we're gonna go more into this, on what is a universe and what is a world, and what the implications and meanings there are. Want to do that?
That sounds good to me.
Done. We're gonna do it. Wow. I really like them. And hopefully by then, Newt has read these books. Don't shrug at me, because they'll be getting to spoilers. I can't be vague forever. I may have, Sullivan, if you are watching this right now, I would like you to mail in your book series of Age of Empire and a baseball bat. I'm looking at you.
Hey, listen, I have 8 more hours, and then I've got them purchased, or most of them on Audible. We'll get there.
Give me the baseball bat. I need to hit this guy. And he's too big. If it's mano a mano, I will lose drastically. If I have a baseball bat, I have some edge over him. Don't you wave your hand at me. Sorry for getting off topic, but we really are on topic. It's so rereadable. It fills it. It's 100%. Done! And magic. What do I mean by this? It's a form of nostalgia slash best friend slash lightning. Nostalgic is obvious. It could be a year ago, but you reread the books and you go, oh, nostalgia! That endorphin of, that just feels so comfortable. I love it. Thank you. There's nostalgia, and there's the old friend bit where it's just, dude, I haven't seen you for a while. Yes! Oh, I love this part. You like that part? Oh, I love it. That spot was really amazing, huh? How in the last book, that character, what they dealt with, it was heavy. That's the only spoiler I'm going to give you, people. But wow, that was big, huh? Mm-hmm. You like what I did, uh-huh? Yes, I do. And your magic is amazing. That magic of a friend. And then there's that third level of magic, this lightning. The lightning in a bottle. We see it from various things, like Back to the Future. Talk about a lightning in a bottle. Like Harry Potter, the book series. You want to talk about a lightning in a bottle? Well, there's a lot of lightning in that one. To Gravity Falls. Is there a lightning in a bottle? Oh, yes, there is. And the lightning that Sullivan does, I think it is there. And the magic of the lightning is how he threatens the world. We see it a lot with movies and books and shows, how the world's in peril and they need to level up after that. What happens then? Well, we do this. What happens then? Then we have to do this. This is the complexity that Marvel is in right now. They had to save the world. They have to save the universe. Now it's the time stream. You can only do that for so much. And Sullivan has Elan, like I mentioned before, how all this is the same world. And how does he one-up it? By his characters. How his character's world is something uniquely impersonal. And how he structured the character and this moment that made you almost tear up in fear or tear up in just joy. Because, by George, you just love that magic of it. He fulfills the hidden gem of, this is where the importance lies. This is where things are dangerous. Not because of the world, but what's going to happen to the character and the threat to the character. That is the world. He isolates it to a character. And I feel like Hollywood and Marvel needs to remember, it's not the world, it's what's important to the character. The character's world, the character's relationships, the character's connections, the character's conversations. He does it right. And it works really well. And the lightning in the bottle is pretty high. There's just, I want to say 100%, but I need to hold my bias. So I'm going to be honest to myself. The lightning in the bottle isn't 100. It's 80%. Wow, if that's the lightning in the bottle for Age of the First Empire, that's pretty good, people. So his magic levels are pretty good. And then the third realm of what makes a 7 a 7 is it deep diveable? We love Back to the Future. We love Gravity Falls. We love Harry Potter. But there's a sense of deep diveability in all these movies. Yes, there is. Gravity Falls is obvious. Just doing a character study on Grunkle Stan is awesome. Harry Potter, the strange what ifs, the relationships, the complexity, and the hidden stuff that's in it. Deep diveable. Back to the Future. The way how that is deep diveable it's in a weird way. From how Marty and how he changed his family and changed everything into a new timeline. You can't help but go, what does this imply? What does this go into? And to the small cameo side of Peabody. And what does that entail? I find it interesting, and I wonder if anyone else has seen this on YouTube with Back to the Future. The parallel of three families. McFly, the Biff's bloodline, and the school principal. Those three bloodlines are in all three movies. Interesting. Why do you do that? And that's what I like, a deep dive, something that makes the movie or book or TV show more. And the question is, does Michael J. Sullivan do that? Well, there's Roan. And honestly, Roan is too amazing a character for me personally. And I'm going to put a pin here. Because Roan and what Michael J. Sullivan did for her is something amazing. So we're just going to put a pin in here. Is there anything else that's deep diveable? The reread. Reread the book series, and you have knowledge now what you didn't have then, and your jaw drops. Conversations have different meanings. What a character implies is something more. Honestly, the way how a character says something in particular, and how this it not really affects the entire series, but this character, it made me can help but go, Sullivan, are you seeing there is another, not just the trilogy, but you kind of left wiggle room for a fourth book series, or a fourth series with just one book. You made it possible. Because goblins are uncivilized. Interesting. Very interesting. I know this could be a spoiler. Dang it, I wanted to do a video on it. Sullivan, what? Goblins? The gazelle? There's something there. A one sentence I can do a video off of. Just mentioning them. And a certain word in a certain sentence. That is deep diveable. I may be grasping at straws, and he may not answer that. And he can do that, but at the same time, I wonder. That's deep diveable, that there. Is there other things that make this deep diveable? This series as a series, not the universe, but the series. I say that there is. From, gosh dang it, I can't spoil. From a certain character and how two characters meet. And that little exchange of word to another and what that entails. To another character, which I can't spoil. Oh my gosh. Newt, you're killing me. People, you're killing me. There's so much spoilage I want to go into. There's so much stuff that's in here. And the implications of it. But in the series alone, I can't go to Alan. But this series, there's so many nuggets. They may be small, but the smallness of these nuggets have a great grandeur when you realize what it means to Alan as a whole. I can't help but go, Sullivan, by George, this is a nifty knot you've done as a deep dive. But the biggest deep dive is more of this series and the whole world of Alan. So the deep dive kind of hinders him right here. You have to read more of your series and the deep dives get bigger and epic. And how these small nuggets are so huge. I love it. But it requires the rest of the books for a deep dive, not for the books as a whole. You can read them separate and you can live by them separately. Pretty good, but still, read them together. Wow. And where does this put him as a 7? Roan. Roan makes you have to hit pause. I've tried my best to be unbiased. However, Roan has forever changed these books for me. I am born with what's called specific language impairment. And for the first time in my life, I read a character that I thought has this. I am 35 as this video is going. And to help you understand even more what this means for me, to me in particular, here's a list of books that have been documented and written down. These are books I have read. And Newt, show them. That was a good one. There. And these are the books that I have on documentation that I have read and listened to. That was a lot. There's more out there. But no one has ever made me read a character that I felt like had SLI. Never in my entire life of reading books. Never have I ever stumbled on something so prolific I made 5 videos about my life and how that connected to Roan. That something about her made me point something out. And how I saw that and realized, by George, that's what I have. Never has that ever happened, and I'm sure it will never happen again. And Sullivan stumbled on this by accident. I don't care what anyone says. That is amazing that you can do that. You may not have intentioned on it, but you did it. And that is something that makes this series have an unfair advantage, and I am going to reward it. Until another book series or a book achieves this goal, will it affect Sullivan's 7? No. No, it won't. By George, Roan gave me courage to talk about what I have. For the first time in my life, I am opening up about what I have and the difficulties that make it unique. I am not saying victim. What I'm trying to say is if Roan, a fictional character, made me like this, made me felt such a deep connection that I had courage, then maybe I could be one of the many that have this disability, this learning disability, to say on the internet, we are not alone. My entire life, I never felt this connection before. And I had a friend who said he had the same thing like I did, and I found that hard to believe. Extremely hard to believe. I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We are famous for the missionaries. Why I have to say this? He went on a mission, a full 2 years. And because of that, I doubted that he had our disability. Because I wasn't called for a mission. It was a happenstance of my grandparents. And because of that happenstance, we had to go through hoops. We had to engineer a way that I can have a mission. Not 2 years, it was 7 months. Because of my disability, I had that. There's like well over millions members of my church around the world. And some of them go on missions. But I am one of the rare few that, because what I have, I didn't get that time strength. My mission was so short. I had a mission that was not like everyone else's. When you're already unique and you have a religion that makes you even more unique, but when those two are together and it makes you even more of an outsider, no, not an outsider. That makes you realize how your life isn't normal, how your life is not normal. It's kind of rough. It doesn't mean anything bad. It just is a spotlight that you forget about. But when you see, oh yeah, you're on a spotlight, and you look around and realize how huge it is, and know that no one else is in there, that it's you alone in this spotlight. But then you read a book and you see Roan and realize, I'm not alone in a spotlight. She's there too. Tell me, does this book series deserve a 7? Sullivan, you made these books hard to listen to because of her. And I love you for it. I'm not alone. For the first time in my life, I can truly see it. And if that was by accident and on purpose, people, we're not alone. There's a spotlight that we all have, and it's very different. And it's that spotlight we're so used to, but it's so hard when it's on. But Sullivan, for the first time, you made me feel not alone. For the first time, you made me feel strong. For the first time, I am talking like this. And I hope the world can see this. And I hope the world can read your books, because, face it, it's a 7. It's a 7. Thank you. Thank you, Sullivan, for creating such a character. Thank you, Newt, for making this possible. The editing, the clips and images, the way how we're growing, but mostly the fact that it's been a year. And look at the success we have. Yes, we're at 71. Yes, no one's talking about us. But at the same time, we have over 1,000 views on 2 videos. We're over 100 on so many. And I know even you, the audience, are so responsible for that. So responsible. I can't help but go, you're the guy that made it possible. I had a phone, and that's it. Not a computer. He has the computer, he has the camera, he has the editing, he has the talent. And if there's anything I've learned in life, is when you come on someone that makes things so amazing, it's awesome, let them know how awesome they are. And the best way to say someone, you're awesome, you give them donuts.
Thank you.
And this is the pond glorifying that we have you, the audience, you, the Newt, you, Michael J. Sullivan. And now it's the Bullfrog and the Newt checking out. What?